Hey, episode 1, here we go. Sunscreen. Do you remember class of 99, like 1999, part of the last century? That year, this kind of a song came out. It wasn't really a song, it was more of a man talking, but he was given advice generally, and basically the gist of it was that he said, definitely wear sunscreen. There's proof, there's evidence, it's a good idea. But all the other advice I'm going to give you in this graduation ceremony, it's just my opinion and there's no proof of any of it, but definitely wear sunscreen. That's the gist of it. So I've been definitely listening to that since 1999, which is 25 years. I've been listening to that since before I knew my husband, and that seems like my entire life. And yet, I went to the beach 2 days ago with sunscreen in my bag, because I do bring sunscreen around with me. And I thought to myself, I'll put it on if we need it. Because I was in Ireland. It wasn't the day of the massive heat wave now. There was no warnings about this heat, but it was maybe 20 degrees, 21, something like that. It didn't seem crazy hot to me because we live in Belgium. Like, 2 weeks ago, I was in Belgium, it was 36 degrees. It was like 10 days ago, 36 degrees. We were sweating and hot, but to be honest, I was in a classroom. I was teaching. And when I went home, I was making the dinner. I had a weird incident actually making dinner. It was so hot. There was a problem with our oven, so I decided I'd barbecue. So I went out to the barbecue, and when I was trying to open the barbecue, I burnt myself because the barbecue was so hot from the sun. It wasn't even on, that it was really hot. I couldn't touch it. It was too hot. So yeah, that was funny. I was laughing at that. So Belgium was really hot. So when I came back to Ireland, I thought 21, 22 degrees, whatever it wasn't even hot. It was fine. It was fine. We weren't going to get burnt. Like, don't be silly. I'd put sunscreen on if we needed it, if it was hot, So we were on the beach, and I was, the way I like talking. I was talking to my friend for, I don't know, quite a while. I was a bit lonely, so I was talking to my friend, and the kids were playing and digging holes and, doing kid stuff on the beach. I was chatting, and I read a bit of my book, and then I was chatting again, and then I read a bit more of my book, and then I kind of lied there for a while, and, before I knew it, 3 hours had gone by, and I didn't feel hot. I did not feel hot. I didn't feel remotely hot, actually. I didn't get any sense that I was burning or anything. And then when I stood up, I was a bit stiff. I was like, oh, am I a bit burnt? And the kids were like, yeah, Mum, you're a bit red. And we had to go. We had to pick up my 2 older boys. They were ready to come home, and I had to pick them up. They just rang me. So that's what I was doing. So I was like, okay, come on. Off we went. Sat into the car. I was a bit sore to sit down. I was a bit hot. I'd been lying on my tummy the whole time. We got into the car, and off we went. Picked up the lads. Came home. Everything was okay. My husband came back from where he was, and everything was okay. I thought it was a little bit burnt. I was a bit sore. But by the time I was going to bed, I was really sore. My son's friend was staying with us, so he happened to have some after sun. So I didn't have any. I borrowed his after sun and plastered myself in it. My legs were quite sore. So covered them and went to bed and thought, I'll sleep on my stomach. So I slept on my stomach, and I barely slept because I was in such pain. I didn't think I'd taken paracetamol or anything like that at that point. I woke up in the morning and I was worse. I was a lot worse. The burn was quite bad. My back and all down my legs, pretty bad. So when I got up, this is where it got funny, because normally if I was somewhere, I'd get up and do stuff and potter around the house and whatnot, and I just kind of moan about it. But when I got up, I was getting really nauseous and quite dizzy. So I got as far as the bathroom door, managed to get myself sitting on the toilet to pee in the morning, and I actually thought I was going to fall over. So I got back up and got back into bed. I couldn't even stay on the toilet long enough to pee. I came back to bed, and I didn't really need to pee anyway. I was just peeing because it was the morning. Got back into bed and lied back down, and I had to kind of throw myself into the bed because I thought I was going to faint or something. Like I really felt very out of it, very, I don't know how to describe it. So I Googled and checked what was wrong with me. It said that it sounded like my blood pressure was a bit off and that I should make sure I was hydrated and eating some salt. So I got some food. I shouted to get some food and I hydrated. I drank some water, and my husband went to town and he got some nice water because I don't like water. He got fancy water with bubbles in it and a hint of a tint of something. I don't know what it was, peach or something. And I drank a litre of that over the course of the day, which is a lot of water for me. I hardly drink any water. I really don't like it. I hydrate with coffee. I know, don't do that. So yeah, that was yesterday. So I was stuck in bed and I don't actually have a headache or any other kind of sunstroke kind of symptoms, just the dizziness and the nausea when I stand up. And I think it's down to a fair bit of pain in my legs. Because when I stand up, they're quite swollen. Not the entire legs now, but around the sunburn is swollen. There's sunburn and then there's swelling around the sunburn. And when I stand up, I think, this might be crazy now if you're a doctor or a nurse or something, you might be telling me I'm nuts, but I think it feels to me like when I stand up, all the blood rushes down to my legs and there's just too much pressure for my skin to handle, and it just feels intensely like my legs are going to burst. And the pain of that causes the nausea. I don't know if other people get nausea from pain, but I do. I definitely do, and I can actually throw up from pain. That is kind of what happens with me. I would describe this wibbly wobbly feeling as well, and the nausea, as something I would have experienced with extreme pain in labour. So this has been like labour since yesterday. Not quite. It's only like that if I stand up. So basically, I can't get out of bed. I'm a bit better than I was yesterday. I can move my legs. I can bend my knees now, and yeah, I still wouldn't sit. I'm getting out of bed in very creative ways without having to sit down. I feel really stupid, basically. Yeah, no, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better than I was. I was kind of worried there for a little bit, going, oh my God, what's wrong with me? But I'm feeling really stupid. And like, I've been listening to that song since 1999. You would think I would know. Yeah, definitely wear sunscreen. But no, I don't. I don't tend to work like that. I don't tend to listen to advice. I don't know if this is an autism thing. I'm wondering if it's an autism thing. So maybe somebody out there will say, yeah, I do that too. That's an autism thing. Maybe it's an ADHD thing. I don't know. Is it a neurodiversity kind of thing at all? I don't know. But I tend to hear advice about something and I think to myself, is that relevant to me? Is it correct? Is it relevant to me? Do I need to look into it a bit more? And yeah, I tend to get something into my head that might not be a great idea, and then I don't do it, even though it's a good idea, you know? Yeah, obviously sunscreen is a good idea if you're on the beach and you're going to get scorched. But my philosophy on sunscreen has always been, well, you need to expose your skin to the sun a little bit so that you get enough vitamin D. Otherwise, yeah, you won't get skin cancer, but yeah, you'll have very low vitamin D levels, which means you get something else. You have to have a bit of balance, you know? You have to get a bit of sun, then put the sunscreen on. And that's how I've approached it all along. But I just totally forgot to put it on. I didn't make a conscious decision not to put on the sunscreen. And the bigger scheme of things, it would have been more sense just to put it on in the first place so that we didn't get burnt, you know? Oh, yeah, the kids are burnt too. Sorry, forgot to say that. Guilty. Yeah. My daughter's burnt. She's 11. Her back is a bit burnt. Her shoulders. She was digging a hole. My son's back is quite burnt, but he's 7. He has a crazy high pain threshold, so his back is probably quite bad. Nasty burn. The whole of his back. Not just a bit of it or something, like the whole of his back is quite burnt. And with his high pain threshold, I think he's just not complaining about it. He's not said peep. There's no complaints. His back is fine. He's not complaining about it. There's no bother. I've been putting after sun on it, but he's not complaining about it. He had, we've had a couple of things now that would make you think that he doesn't feel an awful lot of pain. He had stitches on his head. He fell and got stitches on his head. And when we went to the doctor to have the stitches removed, she thought it was going to hurt. So she was like, okay, come on over here and hold his hands now and make sure he doesn't move. And I was helping to keep him steady in that. But there was part of one of the stitches stuck and she was tugging and pulling and trying to get it out. And she said, oh, I'm so sorry. And he fell asleep. So she was anticipating a lot of pain and he didn't feel a thing. He fell asleep because he stopped moving for 10 minutes. So he fell asleep. Yeah. So he doesn't feel a lot of pain. And he fell a couple of weeks ago in school as well, and he got a nasty cut in his elbow. And his teacher was saying that he didn't cry very much. Now he's very brave about it all. It didn't really hurt him. It's strange. And I was like, yeah, that's what he's like. That's what he's like. So I think the pain threshold thing is an autism thing. But I do not have that lack of a pain threshold at all. I don't think I have that. Or maybe we all have it to some degree. And if I have a very high pain threshold, then I'm seriously badly sunburned because I'm in a fair bit of pain. I've been naked for 2 days. Yeah, but that's not really what I was trying to talk about. What I was trying to say is that I wonder how much of an autism thing it is to just disregard good, sensible advice. Because you're concerned about something that you just can't find the balance between two things. Like, okay, there's a few factors with sunscreen. For me, you need a bit of vitamin D, so you have to get a little bit of sun. And secondly, what on earth is in the sunscreen? Like, I'm very aware that oil-based anything can go in through your skin. Like, you can put a hormone patch or a nicotine patch on your skin. It goes into your blood. What is in the sunscreen? I would be the same with makeup. I'd be the same with body creams. I just don't use those kind of things. Like, what's in it? Listen to this. This is after sun, so it's not the same as sunscreen, but this has got aqua, dimethicone, stearic acid, cetearyl alcohol, I can't pronounce that, glycerin, capric triglyceride, theobroma, cocoa seed butter, something else I can't, and like a load of other things I can't pronounce. And if those were on my food ingredients, I'd be saying, that looks very dodgy. That's a lot of chemicals going into your body. Maybe we shouldn't eat that, you know? It does say for external use only, so you obviously shouldn't eat it. Okay. But like, should you rub it to your skin? And then there's the whole vitamin D thing. So by the time you put the two of those things together, I would just be slow to put sunscreen on. I use it as necessary. And my better plan, my plan A would be don't spend very long out in the sun. Go out for 20 minutes and then go back inside. Obviously, that works fine when we're in Belgium. It doesn't matter. You know, we're in school. We're not out in the yard for very long. Sit in the shade for a bit. Go out and play, but then sit in the shade. Don't stay in the shiny, shiny sun for an hour. Don't do that. You have about a 20-minute break where you're actually out playing, and then you come in, and that's you getting vitamin D. You don't need sunscreen for that. But any longer than that, you do. You need to come in after that. That's plan A. Plan B is put the sunscreen on. But I just didn't do it. And I feel super, super stupid. So first of all, my advice is use sunscreen. If you're going to be out for longer than is sensible. I have a very good app called D-Minder. It's quite good. If you put in the time of day, it calculates your altitude and aptitude. I don't know where you are in the world. It calculates where you are in the world and how much vitamin D you should be able to take in. You have to put in how overcast it is, but it's actually got a brightness sensor in it. So you can actually use that to see, you don't have to judge, is it 20% overcast yourself? You can see it will decide if you want. And then you put in what percentage of clothes you're wearing. Now, it doesn't decide that for you. You have to decide yourself. So like bikini or something like that would be 80% of your body is exposed. Whereas if you've got everything on, just your face and your hands out, that would be 10%, I think. But you just click on, it tells you and you click on it. And then it puts in how much vitamin D you're getting. And if you do it over time, you'll see how much you're getting over the course of a month or the year. And you'll see that you should, in theory, have enough vitamin D from the sun. You're getting enough or you're not getting enough. So you can tell at a certain time of the day how long you can stay out without getting sunburnt as well. It factors that in for you. And you put in how fair your skin is. I mean, that's a guess. I'm Irish, so quite pale, really. Yeah, quite pale. But I don't have red hair. I'm not that pale, but I'm still quite pale, even in terms of Irish people. I'm quite pale. Oh, but I didn't do that on the day. I didn't do that. I just went to the beach for a few hours and laid down on the ground. Got sunburnt badly. I haven't gotten sunburnt in forever, in years. I have a little bit. I've got a little bit of sun on my face, but not like this. This is nasty. It's entirely my own fault, and I feel really stupid. And I've kind of ruined 2 days for everybody else because nobody else can do anything nice while I'm lying in bed. naked, waiting for my legs, my back. My back isn't too bad. It's my legs really, they're sore. My legs to heal, and I just want to get up and do stuff. Do you know? I just want to get up. I want to do some sanding and some painting. I only have a window of a few days to get it done. Today is Sunday. I have 5 more days to get it done. But I wanted to get started. I want to do a little bit every day rather than piling it all into one day. And my plan is kind of just gone out the window. I've ruined my own plans. I've ruined everybody else's plans. We were going to see my in-laws yesterday, and we didn't go. My husband didn't want to go on his own because he didn't want to leave me here. And he thought the kids might be a little bit uncomfortable in the car as well, sitting when they're burnt, you know. I feel really bad. My kids are burnt. It's so not good for kids to be burnt. We should never have gone to the beach. But then we'd have no vitamin D, so that would be terrible too. Yeah. So my question is it an autism thing to struggle around following instructions? You know, that's not really what I struggled with, but the struggle with kind of balancing 2 different things and getting it right. Perfectionism, is that part of perfectionism? I honestly think this might just be pure stupidity. Yeah, I just didn't think of it. I just didn't think of it once. It didn't seem that hot. I didn't think of it again. I had it in my bag. Oh, any words of wisdom for me? Well, that I will listen to. 1999, you'd think it would soak in. I'll see if I can attach the song to this. Might be interesting. Okay. Talk to you soon. I'll have something smart to share. Sometimes I'm smart too, okay? I know this isn't one of my first podcasts, so please don't think I'm stupid all the time.